This is 13 News Now.
Well, after a couple of days off from summer temperatures, we are back to another severe heat wave. Thanks for staying cool with us for 13 News Now at noon. I'm Lucy Bustamante.
I'm Andre Sr. 5 days of temperatures feeling like 100 degrees or hotter starts today. Temperatures are already in the 90s right now, and you're looking live at the ocean front. But the breeze might not be enough to keep you cool today.
No, absolutely not. Tim, it's supposed to feel like it's over 100, correct?
That's correct. The heat index already climbing. It's only the lunch hour. We're already at 93, but it feels like 97 when you factor in the humidity, and that's just right at downtown Norfolk right now. Elsewhere, a little bit warmer, especially up along the peninsula. If we look at satellite imagery, though, hardly anything going on, just some haze and some high clouds out over Hampton Roads right now, and that's not really filtering any sunshine, so it's getting on through and warming things up. It's 95 in Newport News right now, 88 Chesapeake, 86 in Ahoskie, 95 in Williamsburg, 90 Virginia Beach, 89 in Moyock, and 90 in Portsmouth. Dew points up there as well. We have a few upper 60s, which is why the heat index isn't too high in Norfolk. We're at 68, but elsewhere 76 in Surrey. That makes it feel like 103 stepping out the door there. Same in Smithfield, 101 in Gloucester, 105 in Williamsburg, feels like 107 in Gatesville, and the century mark in Moyock. And it's only lunch hour. It's only going to get warmer as we go through the rest of the day, up to around 103 to 104 later on before things cool down. And then tomorrow, we make a run at the century mark with a high around 100. Today, going for a high around 94, looking like we might even surpass that as we get through the rest of the afternoon. Partly cloudy. That heat index, though, is going to be the culprit. Up to 105 it'll feel like. We'll talk more about that extended forecast in the 7-day coming up in a few minutes. For now, we'll send it back over to you.
All right, Tim, thank you. Well, new details are emerging today. A little girl in Young Terrace caught in the crossfire. Norfolk police tell us that someone called 911 around 9 o'clock last night saying that 2 people had been shot on Nicholson Street.
Yeah, the shooting involved a little girl. 13 News Now reporter Jamie Lee spoke to that little girl's father today.
I did talk to the father of the 7-year-old girl who was shot here last night. He told me that his daughter Janiyah was playing outside with some friends, riding some bikes, when all of a sudden he heard a bunch of gunshots. He ran outside to find out what was going on, heard that his little girl had been shot in the leg. She somehow managed to hobble over to a neighbor's house for safety to get help, and she was screaming. Obviously, he was very shocked at what happened. She somehow just got caught in the crossfire. They rushed her to the hospital. Thankfully, her injury was non-life threatening.
Dangerous. It's hard, man. Just, it don't make no sense at all. She handled it well, but knowing that she was in the crossfire, she believed that somebody was trying to kill her, but I told her that wasn't what it was.
Little Janiyah is doing okay today. She is at home now resting. We also know that a 38-year-old man was also shot here last night. Thankfully, his injury non-life threatening as well. And at this point, police do not have any suspect information. So if you know anything or saw anything, call police. In Norfolk, I'm Jamie Lee, 13 News Now.
Incredible. Thank you, Jemmy, for that report. All right, just into the newsroom. Hampton police arrested this man wanted for a shooting that hurt an 11-year-old boy. Eric Osby faces multiple charges, including maiming and shooting into an occupied dwelling. So back in May, Osby is accused of shooting at people who were standing in a yard on Smiley Road. One of those bullets went into the house and grazed an 11-year-old. Medics expect the boy to fully recover.
A new plan is in the works to ease congestion in Hampton Roads. VDOT wants to build a new network of high occupancy toll lanes on I-64.
That's right. So they're called HOT lanes, and these new lanes are already opening in December, but the full network could be done by 2024. Stephen Graves was at today's VDOT meeting, and he is live in Chesapeake with the latest on the plan. What do you have, Stephen?
Well, Lucy, a lot of conversation around this proposed plan for HOT lanes here in our region. If you don't know, these lanes are on the inside of the highway that give people the option to ride in them and pay. If you're one person in that car, there's an easy pass and you have to switch it over, converting to HOV if you have more people in your car. So this is what it would essentially look like if this full plan went into place. Like you said, segment 1 is already approved here. So what was being discussed today by regional regional leaders is this segment 2 here on the Great Bridge area. So people are talking about discussion in there about the tolls, where it would go. Officials say, of course, this would ease congestion and fix issues in a very congested area. And as you see here, segment 3 even goes up to the HRBT. Now, we did talk to James Utterback. He's the district director here for VDOT. Hear what he has to say about the plans for the segment 2 and segment 3.
Express lane conversion would occur in 2021. The HRBT development would pace the express lanes on that particular section, so we were looking at 2024 for that. So that would be part of the.
And so what we're talking about here, segment 4, that's the proposed lane that goes all the way up to Jefferson Avenue in Newport News area. That still has to be talked about. We're very early on that. I'll explain more of that coming up in the later shows. Right now, they're voting on a resolution to show support or not for these segment 2 and 3. And we'll bring you all of that coming up later, that vote, and have more details on how all of this will work and affect you. For now, reporting live in Chesapeake, I'm Stephen Graves, 13 News Now.
Stephen, thank you for that update. A man charged with stabbing a hospital employee to death in Northampton County is pleaded guilty right now.
A jury found Winston Burton guilty of first-degree murder yesterday. So they are recommending a life sentence for him. Winston killed Shelley Crockett last November, and at the time, investigators called it, quote, a domestic altercation. A pre-sentencing date has not been set.
New information about a deadly crash in Chesapeake. We're told last night after 11 p.m. a driver went off the road on Route 58 near the Suffolk City line. The driver died after crashing into a tree. We're told he is 28-year-old Nathaniel Forrester. Police are still investigating what caused him to crash. Well,
the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children says that an El Paso girl could be here in Virginia Beach specifically. This little girl's named Hadasha Reed. She is 16. She went missing from El Paso back in April. Well, now they have reason to believe that she traveled to our area. She measures 5 feet 2 inches tall, and you can see her ears and her nose are pierced. If you have seen Hadasha, they want you to call 1-800-THE-LOST.
Happening right now, the city of Chesapeake opened a disaster resource center for residents affected by Saturday's fire at Chesapeake Crossing. The city is calling the center a one-stop shop for those affected. They can connect to resources and assistance from both government and private agencies. The Resource Center is set up at the new Galilee Missionary Baptist Church on South Military Highway. It is open until 5 tonight. More than 150 residents could not live in their apartments after the fire. You can make donations through the United Way of Southampton Roads. 100% of donations will go to assist victims of the fire.